What's up, guys? It's KJ Cook here. I am a 22-year-old Forex trader, currently studying at Purdue University. And yeah, I just thought it would be a very cool opportunity for me to take here to use this not only TradingView platform, but as well as YouTube and my other social medias that'll be linked in the description as well to really reach out to the trading community. I feel like I have some value to bring, and hopefully, there are others who feel that they have value to bring to myself as well. So, the thing that I want to discuss today is I know a lot of you play the high and low of the day. And the high and low of the day is a very, very important, aspect of trading that you need to understand and kind of understand, how exactly, without even thinking about getting in a trade, understanding, you know, how to properly identify what exactly is the high and low of the day. Now, this is going to be quick and short. This approach is very simple, but you're looking for two things, right? You're looking for confirmation and then the failure of continuation, right? And right here, we're looking at the NASDAQ, right? And let's say that for some reason we wanted to, inspect the high and low of the day, not for taking a trade of any purpose. We'll get to that point eventually. But how exactly are we going to identify the high and low of the day? So let's say you came in Monday and for some reason you had a bias that you wanted to be a buyer that day. It would be important for you to understand that it'd probably be in your best interest to buy from the lows of the day, right? We buy low and sell high. So you'll be interested in, trying to buy the bottom of the day. Now, the important thing to understand is, what is the bottom of the day, right? How can I set myself up to be able to potentially see that in real time about what is, the potential low of the day? So again, like I said, if we begin on Monday, right, we come in the market and we take this simple approach here, right? We mark up, let's say we woke up around 3:15 for all you early birds out there, right? You like to trade London session. And you said, okay, this is my low of the day, right? But for purpose of this example, let's say that you are not interested in trading until New York session, but you wanted to just keep note of that, right? So what you do is, you watch price do its thing, yada yada yada, and then what do we see? Okay, we had price break below it. Now, the first thing that we needed to see, right, that I mentioned earlier was that we first needed, confirmation that this is a low, right? Not the low of the day, but confirmation that this is an actual low. How are we going to know if this is an actual low? Well, we won't know until it creates a what? Until it creates a high, right? So this low was confirmed by this high. It does not mean that it is the low of the day, but it just confirms that this is low. And that's the first step in our process of determining either the high or the low of the day. And it's a low in this case. So, okay, then we can bump over and see if we had the next low, right? So again, we're just going to repeat the same exact process, right? So price created this low here. And then did we ever have a high that confirmed that this was a low? Absolutely not. And that's exactly why price decided to continue to break through low after low. Now, let's say that you got to this point, right? This is an interesting one. So you got to this point and you're saying, okay, this is potentially the low of the day. Why? Okay, let's check for the first thing. Boom. Yes, this is a low indeed, because it is confirmed by this high that it was created. Now, the next thing in which we need is we need a failure to create a lower low, right? Because when we think about basic market structure, right, when we're looking for bearish movements, we're looking for lower highs and lower lows. We're looking for lower highs and lower lows, right? But as soon as we see something like this, that has a potential reversal point, right? So we're just literally going to try to find the same exact thing on the charts, right? So, okay, so this low was confirmed by this high. So it is indeed a low. But then what do we need? We needed a failure for it to create a lower low, and we did not get that. So then we move forward into the next low and say, okay, this may be a potential low, potentially the low of the day. Let's see if it fits our criteria in order to be able to determine that. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, is this indeed a low? Yes, it is, because it is confirmed by this high that was created that was a low. Now, the next thing that we need is what? We need a failure to um, create a lower low. And did we indeed observe that? Yes, we observed that right here. Boom, right? Now, as I previously mentioned, we are not going to get into how exactly to enter the market off this, right? But you can obviously see that, okay, once you have this failure of a lower low, your point of interest, right, more than likely is going to lie somewhere in this area, right? Obviously, you do not want it to break below this failed lower low, as that could just cause confusion, right? And kind of invalidate the things in which we've already observed that support the idea that this is a reversal point. But more than likely, your area of interest is going to be somewhere in here, whether you trade order blocks, whether you trade supply and demand, different other strategies, support and resistance, things of that nature, right? But yes, that's an example of how you identify the low. So if we go to another example, um, let's say that we wanted to identify for some reason, we came in on Tuesday and we wanted to identify the high of the day because we wanted to be a seller. Same exact process, right? Same exact process. So we begin here, right? It's about 6 a.m. Okay. Is this the high of the day? Okay. We had confirmation here because why? That high, right? This high of the day was confirmed. This high was confirmed by this low. Now, what else did we get? We got failure to create a new high, right? We got a failed higher high, which means that our point of interest more than likely lies somewhere in this area, right? And then what do we observe? We observed that price dropped, came back into this area, and then proceeded to drop again. Now, this was a particularly interesting day. Again, like I had said, it did go on to create new highs later in the evening, but from about midnight until the end of New York session, right? This is exactly what we would be looking for as people who trade, either London or New York session. More than likely, there are not many people that are going to be trading this. That's why, it's nothing to get alarmed with, the things that I've said, in terms of determining this as the high of the day, right? And if we go on and on, let's see if we have another example. Yeah, this one right here. So let's end with Friday. Again, you came in the market for some reason that you were looking to be a seller, and you felt that you wanted to be able to identify the high of the day. So let's see how exactly we do. Let's observe this and see how exactly that will go. So I usually like to start whenever I'm looking at day to day price action, right? Determine the high of the day, low of the day. I'm on the East Coast, so I just start at midnight, right? So okay, we would have started here. Boom, right? And we would just, it's about, what time was that? It was about 5:15 a.m. We just said, is this our high of the day, right? And then what is the next thing that we're looking for? We're looking for confirmation that this is actually indeed a high. And we could have said that either this low or even this low are confirmations that that was indeed a high. Now, what is the next thing in which we're looking for? We're looking for a failure to create a higher high, right? We are looking for failure to create a higher high. And that is, something that we kind of look at as a sign of weakness, right? So, again, without getting into, how to trade against this and things of that nature, right? It's just important to be able to, use these simple skills to understand how exactly you can confirm and identify the high of the days. And then hopefully you're able to use, this knowledge to then, be more thorough with your analysis, and hopefully it will call for better trades for you in the future. So I will be posting more videos in the future. I thank you all for taking a moment to listen to me. This is actually my first video, so for all those listening, um, thank you. Thank you for being some of the first to support. And I'm really optimistic about the future and the things that are ahead. So I ask that you all just, like, share, comment on this video. If you have any questions or concerns, I'll leave a link to all of my social medias. I'll respond, pretty quickly. I'm not one of these big famous guru guys, but yes, I'll definitely be in contact with you all, and, happy trading.